Oof. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast, Rafa Esparza, coming to you on day 2, part 1 of ADCC Trials East Coast. If you were to say what was going on, you'd be very busy. We just got done with the very first round of the ladies. They were doing the plus 65 kg category. Looks like they're going to the big boy category, but I do see we could do a mat advisory right now for John Combs, who is currently on mat number 2 and is doing in some work. He is up against Jack Botwell. So we're going to do the best that we can to update you guys on all the different mats that are going on. There are a lot of things happening. I do understand this is quite confusing today, but feel free, drop us some notes. I see a friendly face. What is up, Egg? I hope all is good. I hope you don't have any other commitments today because we are in for the long haul. You can tell because I have both coffee and tea. We are doing our best to be prepared on both angles here because, y'all, it gonna be a day. It is a lot of action, and I do believe, I got to check here, I don't see all the names posted, but I'm looking over at mat number 7, and I can't tell if that's John Blank. Ooh, sharpshooter attempt over on mat number 8. Kudos on that. There is so much action here today, gents. I can't even express how good it was to get some rest yesterday. It was definitely a well-needed moment for us to go home and get some sleep, but I am seeing, again, our mat advisory, mat number 2. However, Aislinn O'Connell is on mat number 1. She is playing guard underneath. And on mat number 7, solid action going on. We will get you an idea of who is on those mats. So we did a little something here today. We wanted to try and help out. Not sure how this is going to go, but just to give you an idea of what we're looking at for today. These will break down the brackets. I don't know that I'll be able to update them in real time, but this is how the day started. So you had Elkin and Bohenik up there already. We'll get you some results here in a second, but this is kind of what we're looking at. And what we did is we did this for every category so that we at least have a frame of reference of where the day is starting. So since we're looking at all of these different categories happening, what you can see is that they did put up mat numbers on the matches of what we are to expect. But the first round for the ladies went so fast. We want to give a second to try and, basically show you the work that we did before we essentially say, it all went to shit because, these things just happen like this. So let's give you some results here. Let me go down. I can tell you Brittany Elkin beats Katie Bohenik, score 5-0. Amir Elam gets one over onto Castro. That was by submission. Tiana Lund versus Josella Molina. Molina takes the win over there by score 6-0. Fayez Akbari versus Andrew George. Akbari ends up getting that one, advancing a little bit for the Perfectus Jiu-Jitsu group. Caitlin Dewars beats Sarah Hunt by score 10-2. Zaid Hussein loses to Stephen Mason from Assembly Jiu-Jitsu. Ian Dabe gets the sub over Shane Lohman, makes it 2-8. Nick Hartman from Zenith BJJ gets the win over Andrew Delaney. Gabriela Bermudez wins over Jacariah E. Clay. Alonzo Kayahu from Moeller MMA beats Andrew Tive. Hannah Robinson over Anna Bozovic. Tomasina Fizdale. Okay, these names are fake. We're doing the best that we can to announce these names, but they are inherently fake. Anyway, Andrew Tive did advance a little bit earlier, but it feels like some of these are already passing us by. Stephen Mason over Henrique Ferreira. Massimo Sullivan over Daniel McGuire. Achilles Rocha got it done 7-0. That happened very quickly. So that kind of brings you up to date. Some of those were from yesterday now that I'm seeing that, because they start at 1,000. So 1,000 should be where we're off to. Let's go ahead and give a note here. Damon Ramos looks like he had the back for a second, but nope, reversal of fortune there, my friends. So what's happening is this is moving so fast they aren't even putting the names of the people on the scoreboards here. So, here we go. Massimo Sullivan and Kyle DeSantos happening on mat number 4. Solid matchup there. Aislinn O'Connell is down. She needs a submission to get one and advance. We will keep you posted. That is happening on mat number 1. Mat number 1 there. Ali Woski is now on mat number 2. We'll go ahead and put that as our current advisory, so you guys might want to keep eyes on that. There's a toe hold attempt that is happening on mat number 4. Mat number 4, just to let you guys know, that is the Massimo Kyle DeSantos match. Kyle trying desperately to wedge out a leg, maybe even go slicer here at this point. Can't quite make it out just yet. There's 1 minute 20 remaining on that match. So we'll come back to these brackets here in a second, but I wanted to give you an idea of what we tried to do. Things happen very fast. So we'll go through some of these and try to point out where the advancements happen. But, you know, is what it is at this point. Shit's just going to happen so fast. Yadamarco will be champ. You know, he looked really good yesterday. Didn't love him against our friend Jacob Howarth, but he was able to make it happen in big fashion. And now Dan on mat number 4. Mat number 4. There is a finish there, but now I'm seeing a commercial, so I don't to go over who won that one. Whenever they start cutting a commercial, it cuts into our time here because I'm trying to give you guys updates. Again, they keep breaking in ads in the middle of competition time. Like, we should not have ads unless we are in the middle of a break. The submission just happened. We didn't even get the hand raise there. Looking up on mat number 6, it does look like Damon Ramos is going to win via points, 3-0 there. I'm not sure exactly what happened on mat number 1. I do think Aislinn O'Connell might be done for the day, so we'll come back to that in a second. Mat number 1, Brandon Reed is coming up right now. Dayashi Goto coming up on mat number 2. Maka Vickers on mat number 4. David Garmo versus Hasnat Raza. That's happening on mat number 4. Mat number 4. Ali Roski happening right now versus Maria Golden. And then Brandon George, Thomas Nelson, that's on mat 8. While Nicole Matthew and Rebecca Curran is happening on mat number 6. Yeah, these commercial breaks are fucking killing me today. I did not have as many of those yesterday, and I can't tell if that's a directive that they said from yesterday to today that that's what they want, but they're really freaking annoying. I did notice that I left my drink over on the side, so I may step off to get that in a second, but we have several drinks today. This one is tea with tons of honey. If you guys speak for long periods of time, this is a lifesaver, by the way. I see another note here that says, in PGF Season 3, of course, any competitor who got a told also got a pair of told shoes for him and their competitors. Well, they're not sponsoring us right now, so we don't need to mention that. Good factoid. Unnecessary unless they are sponsoring us. So, shout out them, but until then, we will keep that quiet. I'm going to go back to mat number 1. David Garmo's on there. He's going against Raza on that one. So, I'm not sure if that's going to get the advisory here, but it does seem like it could be a good match. Garmo has been pretty good today. Pretty solid. It says, sorry, flip-flops or sandals? Nah, I just, you know what I mean? Like, get the coin first, and then we can do the ad mentions. Rana Wilnick is coming up on mat number 8. Mat number 8. I think for the time being, we're going to stay on our mat number 4. Did they switch on all of these again? Oh my God. This shit is so annoying. I literally went through and made sure that I had the right mats. So hopefully they did not switch them out on me. No, these are mat 5. So that should be mat 5 with Garmo. No, that's supposed to be mat 4. I don't even know I do the prep work sometimes. It's mostly you just show up and it's the Wild Wild West, guys. Good Lord. Anyway, what have you guys been most excited for? Who has impressed you throughout the trials thus far in? I do see an ending for the Thomas Wilson ad break. Oh my goodness. It's so hard to give notes. Like, I've already paid for this. We're not getting we're like hand raises because they're just cutting the commercial so fast. Oh, it's infuriating. The hard part is when you're watching and you're absorbing all of this, because it does move so fast, you want to be like, oh, cool, they won. Nope, now we're just looking at a blank screen right now. So there's nothing happening here. Normally, if this is a professional production, you have a stage manager that says cut to, go to. We don't have any of that here. So literally the time that we could have been watching a commercial after the hand raise, we've screwed up. So want this to be a professional sport, but it's difficult to watch because people aren't great at producing. Sorry, you had mentioned a toe hold attempt. Yeah, no. I know. That doesn't mean we have to say everything we know that has toe hold in it, sir. I see a note here from Josiah. It says, I hate these ads. I just want them to have form. Now, everything's buffering on my side. Okay. We're back. That's to be expected. I've got 8 different mats going on right now. Now, I believe later in the day this should condense, so we should be down in a second. And then I think this might be mixing them up. So my apologies if we got some of the mats wrong, but I am repositioning them to what should be mats 1 through 4 on my left side, mats 5 through 8 on my right side. We'll try to keep the advisories a little more accurate as possible. Okay, Sean Yanamarco, for one of our fans, he is on mat number 6. Mat number 6 right now. Jonathan Satava versus Anthony Ortiz. That is happening on mat number 4. Maka Vickers on mat number 3. She is currently ahead 2-0. Dayashi Goto versus Alex Hudik. That is still scoreless, 0-0 right now. Speaking of scoreless, Brian Jackson. That is happening against Brandon Reed. That's on mat number 1. So a lot of action happening right now. And to my better knowledge, it does not look like they have put the names for Brian Jackson and Branson Reed. So don't understand that. And it looks like, let me see if I did this right. So let me take these off. Yeah, it's not letting me fix it here. Okay, we'll just do it. We're going to pull a Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah, because I'm not sure exactly if my mats correspond to where I normally put them. Mat number 3 looks like there is a heel hook attempt. Looks pretty good. That does get a stoppage over there, and that is going to be on the Amanda and Macy match. That comes to a close. We'll get you an update here in a second on that one momentarily. There's another finish. I think Camilla Estrada might have pulled off a win over Mako Vickers. Or at least they're just resetting the position. Updates to come in just a second. Okay. While we're waiting, Jonathan Satava, Anthony Ortiz, still in gray on that one. I'll get you an update. Sean Yanamarco is now in point contention, but 0 points have been scored yet. So there's 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. They aren't in point contention. They are about to. They're 40 seconds away. Except they show points. These matches today are still 6 minutes. Eek. I think these people are slightly off today. We'll do our best to get back on track here, people, but I think some of this is a little batty. I don't understand how Sean Yanamarco has 2 points when it's 3:16 left on the match. Does something change in the middle of that? They don't go to 8 minutes yet. If they went to 8 minutes, that would be the halfway point, and then you could do points, which is fine. Anyway, shout out to some friends who have seen what's up. What's up, Lucas? Hope all is well. J. Rome, saw you a little bit earlier. Appreciate you for stopping in. I see some friends who have been dropping open notes to us. G. Choi, MGA, and the Minoy. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all for stopping in. Okay. Enrico Beltran, that is happening in front of us as well. It looks like Alec Balding versus Quinton Rosenzweig. That's happening on mat number 7. And I don't see that yet, but it's about to pop up. Anthony Ortiz, Satava, I see that one. Okay, that has just kicked off. Another Alex is up against Daiya Shigoto on mat number 2. They reset them there. I think Yadamarco got the finish from Mount. No? Resetting them back to the center of the mat. They were a little too close to the edge. My apologies if you guys were expecting to hear some kind of insanity. There's a Mount on mat number 1, I think. Can't see the names of those individuals. Updates to follow. So every one of these has the smooth comp names put down for that, except for mat number 1. For whatever reason, they have not ascribed names to that one. So my apologies if we don't have that for you guys. And it looks like they're already going to advance. So I think that ends in a submission, and it does. Ad break number 4. I'm just going to start counting the ad breaks. We've gotten to that point. Like, before a few of these, not bad. I can understand. But we're literally taking out the receipt from my Postmates a little bit earlier yesterday, and we are going to count the ad breaks that we see. There are 8 mats. We'll do some math. I have at least counted 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be generous and start with 4, and then we'll make our ways up. Believe that is Kevin Crane, who is taking the mat over right now. I also see Pierre-Olivier Leclerc. He is now on mat number 3. Sean Yanamarco is ahead 2-0 right now. 2-0. He's got 1:17. As long as he doesn't get caught in a guard, he should be good. Gerard James. Looks like he got caught by Kevin Crane, so Kevin Crane is going to advance. Sean Yanamarco in danger. Opponent attempts to wrestle up. He evades it. It's 40 seconds left. He does have a secure point of 2. Keeping him at bay. If he can keep that point total, he should be good. Satava making it to day 2, which isn't a surprise, but I mean, it's just good to see him still competing at a very high level. So Satava is a quiet assassin. Love seeing him return to form there. Ernesto Rivera is going to make his way on over to mat number 3. So Ernesto is coming up right now. Very excited to see Ernesto. He had a great day yesterday. I think Ernesto could be a spoiler. We'll see. how his day goes. There's a triangle attempt happening on mat number 1, a slam. They think about it. Oh, I think that arm is going to do them in there, and that is going to get the tap. Congratulations are in order for whoever that was. There is no branding to let you know who did that. It's got a bald head, kind of like John Blank, but I don't think that's John Blank. But if it was John Blank, very happy for him. That's an ad. But at least they waited for the ad, the hand raise. They literally got to hear and then they cut to an ad. So all of this is all over the place. I think Sean Yadamarco is going to advance. That was happening on mat number 6 initially. Quinton and Alec Balding, that's happening mat number 8. Yeah, that does correspond with mat 8 now. 0-0 on that. There's 2 minutes left to go. Michael Sains on mat number 6. Angelo versus Anthony happening on mat number 5. Satava Ortiz still scoreless. 0-0. And I think they're about to go into overtime. They are in overtime now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is behind. So they will go into overtime. So that 0-0 is going to continue. Pierre-Olivier Leclerc. That is happening on mat number 3. Had a pretty good day so far yesterday. So that weekend can continue. We'll see how that goes. I see a submission finish over for Matt Cartwell. That is going to happen. Continue to happen for him. That's another ad. I think a bald Gujitsu, the hell you say? I mean, I don't make the rules, dude. That dude showed up with baldness on the dome. Games up there. Like, there's only so much that we can do. So, I love seeing how all of this transgresses and transpires. It is a little bit of a madhouse whenever you do these events. You do tend to see how quickly everything goes, how it would probably be better organized if you are cutting the commercial to take a little bit longer in between, especially on day 2. So if the belief is that you'll have more people tuning in today, you could take a little bit more of your time. We're just rushing these things to just for the expediency of it. But you essentially have 8 16-person brackets. So if you have 8 mats, you could essentially put 1 per mat if you wanted to and have those play out, and each one would take about 3 hours. It's not the end of the world. But of course, somehow this is not going to be a 3-hour excursion. This is going to be a much, much longer day. Having said that, we could take some time to do the commercials and actually have some presentation here. But it's what you get when you get people who aren't used to running production for TV. This is production for consumers. Just to be like, hey, I want to see how my friends do. This isn't production for TV. Alec Balding was looking at a pass in that overtime period. Rosenzweig looks like he's trying to bite on this arm of Alec Balding. They reverse position. It's donkey guard. And I think Balding is trying to attack this leg. Ernesto Rivera, Matt Yost, that's happening currently on my screen. Nothing too crazy happening yet. Ernesto playing from guard. Matt trying to pass. Achilles Rocha is about to take mat number 1, but I wouldn't know that because it is blacked out on my screen for whatever reason. Not quite sure exactly why. Cam Hurd versus Jake Strauss. That should be a very good match. That's about to happen on mat number 3. It looks like mat number 3. I think I have to look at it like this. I'm going to call you up here. I think this was a much better use. Trying to look at Flow Arena on your phone has severe implications. This one looks a little bit better. So Flow Arena on the iPad is probably a much better choice. Okay, let's look here. Jet Thompson about to come up on mat number 6. Quinton and Alec Balding still scoreless, but with these attempts for submissions that might just give the edge to Alec, it's going to depend on how they construe whatever Quinton is in. But that's a lot of time that Quinton's not attacking him, and a lot of time that Alec is trying to get that toehold, so it might build up some points for him. We'll see if that is indeed the case. Okay. Let's move down a little bit more, see if you guys have any notes for us. Right now, it is early for our friends out here on Best Coast time. If you are up and with us at this moment, it means you are truly dedicated. If you're in a different time zone, it's the normal person time. I'm not really as proud of you. Wow. Ernesto Rivera fends off some leg attacks and finds his way into mount at points. That's going to give him 3. Yep, should be at 3, and now he's working on a submission. Speaking of a submission, I see that over on mat number 1 with unnamed ladies because no branding, no names on that one. Satava and Anthony Ortiz look like they're going to expire even the overtime, as Quinton and Alec now go into overtime there. So now we can say that is what is happening on that side. In a second, I do know what's going to happen. Bree Stick coming up on mat number 7. Bree Stick coming up on mat number 7. Jet Thompson, Jacob Bereneman. That is happening currently on mat number 6. Mat number 6. And Jet playing from guard. Not a surprise for him. Oh, man, those are some aggressive strikes, essentially. Looks like Satava's having some words with the ref. I'm not quite sure if he agrees with one of those results. And it looks like Ernesto was able to increase his lead to 6. And I see another ad break, so we're going to do 2 more there. Ernesto, I think he was ahead 6-0, but ended up getting the submission anyway. So we'll update on that. Okay. Those were the latest results that they have posted on that for their website. Let's pull that down. We'll give it a second to reset. Looks like Achilles Rocha, Travis Flynn. I think it mentioned that they were done. Colby Gonzalez, Trisha McDonald happening on mat number 5. Mat number 5 is what is happening. I see a leg attempt here by Bree Stick, I think. Trying to make sure we are giving the right notes here. We're going to go ahead and give the advisory for mat number 3 for this reason. You haven't had a bad Cam Hurd match yet. And him and Strauss, I want to say, if they haven't been paired up before, pretty good builds off of each other. So I think that should be a competitive match. As we said the word competitive, we might be seeing an equally competitive take from Max Hansen and Mario. That is Mario Schunkweiler. Some of these names really did sneak by me yesterday. Johnny Grippo, mat number 1. Nathan Haddad happening on mat number 2. Jet Thompson still there. Lots of PGF alums. If you are your eyes are darting all around on all of these different screens. And that's going to be 4 points for Alec Balding. If he can hold on to that for the next 20 seconds, he will advance to the next round. I think that is incredibly likely. Danielle Kelly from Kingsway about to take place on mat number 8. On mat number 8, just to give you your heads up there. Cam Hurd now slightly coming alive. I think once the points hit for that round, it should be a very good omen for him. Max Hansen trying to attack, I think, the leg over here. The arms given some space on the inside of that that slicer there. Ad break. I forgot to add 2 more. I think that's Achilles. Oh, we have a medic. Looks like I'm at number 1. That's what that drop down was. That's why we stopped for a second. Okay. I think Achilles killed a guy. Uncertain as to what's happening on the rest of that side. Okay, Johnny Grippo is going to go on mat number 1. That's going to be versus Dalio Balthwaite. Nathan Haddad still scoreless in the no score period. My apologies. That is happening on mat number 2. Colby Gonzalez, Trisha McDonald, scoreless right now. Minute 22 left on that one remaining. It's been a pretty fun match. And speaking of scoreless, Jet Thompson and Jacob Brenneman are currently without points. And that means they're going to go to overtime. So we'll see how that one plays out. Max Hansen is ahead by 2. 2:22 left to go in their match. Still a little bit of work. Oh, yeah. I think Achilles busted somebody's shoulder, man. Eek. It says, actually, I'm at my daughter's volleyball tournament, listening to you on my phone, choosing you over Flow, my friend. Well, thank you for that. And it just shows you have good taste, because if you were trying to watch this on Flow, I don't even know if they have Flow Zone up today. I don't know if Flow Zone comes into play until a little bit later. I don't know. I would assume they're going to have somebody doing some play-by-play. You've got Big J out that way. Big J would do good commentary if he was there. Did Achilles use a trident? I don't know today. We'll have to we'll have to see the replay on that one. Ooh, Cam Hurd over on a Darce. 2 minutes, 36 seconds left to go. That should be plenty of time for Cam Hurd to have points, though. Because if you could set up a Darce and there's not anything tying you up on the legs, that should be a pass. Yeah, these are pass points, my friends. Unless he was there when the points started, but Cam Hurd should be coming alive here in a second with some points. Good on him. Valerie Wong from 10th Planet, Las Vegas. She is coming up on mat number 3. Jacob Bonerman and Jet Thompson. There's 1 minute left. It's going to likely come down to a referee's decision. And I'm curious to see how that goes. Ooh, there are the 3 points for Cammy Hurd. Still trying to get that neck. He's definitely hunting for it. Huh. For a split second, I thought Cammy was going to go for Dragon Sleeper. Yeah, Jacob Berneman just being on top of that front headlock on Jet Thompson. That might look like he is the one leading more of the dance. And Jacob Strauss very desperately trying to get some points back. 1 minute 23 left to go. Cam Hurd holding center so far. So they're close. Cam Hurd looking solid for the moment. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it. David Stolisu from Sydney West Martial Arts versus Jacob Johnston. That is happening on mat number 8. Another ad. Add it to the collection. Cam Hurd, 1 minute left in his match with Jake Strauss. We'll keep you updated on that. Colby Gonzalez, Tristan McDonald. Does look like we have a winner here, and that is going to be Colby Gonzalez via 3 points to 0. 3 points to 0. Dorian Alvarez happening on mat number 4. Jaden Alexander from 10th Planet Atlanta versus Madison Porcelli. That's happening on mat number 2. Currently 0 points in the Johnny Grippo and the Dalio Bathwaite match. Looks like we are about to see another PGF alum, Rafa Freya. He's going to go on mat number 8. Mat number 8. That is what I would probably say is the advisory we'll put up right now. So we will go on to mat number 8. That is our current advisory. If you ever want to catch something that's going to be exciting, you want to watch yourself a Rafa Freya match. Strauss, man, that might be another pass for Cammy. That's Neon Belly. Those are control points. Cammy desperately trying to lock up another Darce. Not quite at home yet, but that's going to, if he can just hold that position. Yep, he's got 7 points now. Props to him. I think he's still trying to look for that north-south choke. One thing about Cam, just gas tank for days. That guy goes. Shout out Asim. Asim Fayez, the SNC coach for Cam Hurd. Cam will take it and continue his day. His weekend has been looking very strong. Very, very strong. Gavin Corbet happening on mat number 5. Gavin Corbet happening on mat number 5. I think the Gianni Grippo match is about to go into some overtime. That camera is so far away, I can't even tell what's happening. Legitimately trying to make out what's they're all the way on the other side of the mats and there's no zoom in. So at this point, your guess is as good as mine, quite honestly. Dorian Olivares is happening again, as we mentioned, on mat number 4. Let's see if we can give you guys some last minute updates that have just happened over on the website. I'm going to call it back up. We'll see if we can get the official words on some of these. Keith Krikorian about to happen on mat number 7. Mat number 7. That is currently underway anyways. So Keith Krikorian blocking off, making sure he's not letting a pass happen. Might use it as a wrestle up opportunity. He is up against Alex Vasquez from AOJ. Mind you, Keith is somebody who has won a trials before. He knows the grind that kind of comes along with it. Used it almost to bump him up for a wrestle up opportunity. There is 1 minute left in his match. It is currently scoreless. So keep in mind that is dangerous because you can go to overtime there. Dorian Olivares controlling his opponent very well. They're about to hit the points portion. He's well past the legs. So it'll be interesting to see how he progresses. At this point, you kind of either need a submission or to go to mount or work to take the back to start scoring some of those points. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to do that shortly. Brittany Elkin happening on mat number 4. Brittany Elkin, mat number 4. Let's see the latest results that they have posted up. They did mention, yes, of course, Dasha Goto over Alex Hudik. That was back a few matches ago, honestly. John Blank, he was able to get the match win via submission over Mac McCabe. Dorian, I mean, the weird part is already passing when the points happen. You then just are trying to cook your opponent, and Dorian, his gas tank is very impressive. We did put the advisory for Rafa Freya. He is matched up against Matt Mash. Didn't know that one was falling under my purview. You got 2 PGF alums just from this recent season. And, you know, Matt Mash still has some unresolved business from that tournament. So you get the sense he wants to make a statement against a big standout in Hoffa, who was very hard to submit. But one of the things that you did find about Matt Mash, just incredibly violent, incredible spectacle between the two. I knew we were putting an advisory for Hoffa just for his name recognition alone, but we are well placed to put that one. I think Matt Mash versus Rafa Freya is a very fun match to keep eyes on. Keith Krikorian and Alex still currently scoreless, but now Dorian Alvarez looking to take the back, and I think up at mat number 1, somebody was just killed. Yeek. He's moving, but Johnny Grippo pretty much exhausted the shit out of his opponent. Can't tell if it was a choke. That is going to continue the day for him. Keith Krikorian looking to take the back. This is right in time 2 points with 30 seconds left. That should be more points here with a back take, but I'm not sure if he has the second hook in. It is pretty well there. Now trying to get the finish. 24 seconds left to go. Keith in this position is incredibly deadly. But even if he doesn't get the finish here, that should secure his spot to moving on. And now Rafa Ferreira looking to attack the hell out of Matt Mash's leg. He's got a bite. Matt Mash trying to respond in kind. Matt also has a heel hook there. They're off the mats. Oh, and it looks like Rafa does get the better of Matt Mash via an incredibly savage heel hook. Yeah, I think Matt Mash is pretty hurt there. Oh, man, that is rough to see. Medic team checking in on Matt Mash. I'd seen, like, it's almost like on Mat 1, they're behind a little bit too. So all of these are all over the place. They're out of frame now, but it looks like they're going to be tending to him. We will keep you posted on that. You know, when a lot of our friends go up against each other, it is difficult. We want them all to do well. You do kind of essentially have to kill people to move on sometimes because people will not lose. But hate to see that. I do see Matt Mash limping. He is walking. Rafa's coming over. And we are at another ad break. At least they had the kindness to let the hand raise happen again. All right, let's do some updates here. Ian Dabe, that is now back up on mat number 1. Julian Espinoza versus Tristan Sains. That is happening on mat number 6. Brittany Elkins is ahead by 2 points to 0 over on Caitlin Dewars. Johnny Combs has 2 points ahead on Henry Zachary. Don't forget, Johnny Combs is a former ADCC Trials champ in his own right. So, not a huge surprise there, but should be a very fun match for him. We're wishing well for a buddy there. I didn't realize I had that Trident comment still up here, Egg. Might have left that one up for far too long. What's up, SMA Griffin, Jesse, Natalie Bowers, Mama Bowers saying hello. Good to see you guys. All right. Let's see what new developments we have for you guys. Josh Agoto, mat number 3. Reese Lefevre, mat number 2 versus Dom Mejia. We're going to switch. Now our advisory is going to be to that match. If you guys want to get ready to go to mat number 2, I would highly recommend that is the place to be. Again, as we start to narrow the field down more and more, you will see more of these guys getting a little bit more feisty as, we're getting into those Sweet 16 and then those Elite 8 spots. Nice trip there by Henry Zachary. I'm going to keep eyes on that Dominic Mejia, Reese Lefevre match. So this is the part where you're going to see more and more of the teammates go up against each other. ADCC famously tries to make it so that you guys meet at the semifinals or right there before it. But If I'm not mistaken, in that category, you've also got Dorian, who is a standout for Kingsway as well. That is correct. I didn't see David Evers. Didn't see him continue, or not continue, but not make it on this one. So I don't know. Jet Thompson is unfortunately now eliminated. Jacob Borneman over him with Padigo submission fighting, and that was via referee's decision. Meanwhile, mat number 2 with Dom Mejia and Reese Lefevre. Reese playing on bottom. Reese has been really good this weekend, going over after a bunch of legs. And you get the sense that Dom Mejia, he's been savvy to that. I think Julian Espinoza just advanced. That is on mat number 6. Yep, looks like Julian Espinoza will continue his day. Congratulations to him, friend of the show. And those would be, I think, the points from John Combs, who's considering shifting to mount, but doesn't want to overstep any boundaries. LOL snapped, looked at you. What is up to you, sir? All right, friends, this is day 2. This is where we start to separate who is going to advance to the big dance. This is where we start to see who is going to be punching their ticket to the very next ADCC Worlds. A very contested and coveted prize amongst many of these people, although less this year. 40% less. Factually. I would love to maybe almost put up a survey to ask people, like, why didn't you do it? I don't know. I wonder if other people are just like not feeling it, or they just go, invite me or don't. And they're probably way more at peace with getting invited that way or not. John Combs up 4-0, a minute 14 left to go. Ian Dobby looks like he is starting off his day pretty well. He is continuing it with the second match for him. I think he might be inching closer to a submission. Speaking of submission, I see a threat happening on mat number 6. Looks like he's trying to turn him over. This is Nick Hartman and Damon Ramos. Yeah, I think Nick Hartman just got it done over Damon Ramos. Congratulations to him. Well done. All right. Reese Lefevre, Dominic Mejia still scoreless. 0-0. We may be going to some overtime there. What's up? It's simple. They're not paying. I'm not sure what you're in reference to. Keep in mind, sometimes when your comment makes its way to me, it's about a minute past, and I've probably brought up about 5 different conversations since. Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3. Just another 3 commercials I've seen here. Looks like Ian Dabe. I think he didn't get the finish. They reset them back. Mat number 1. Diasha Goto looking to attack and finish with this leg. No, he let it go. I thought for a second he thought that might have been a tap. Wasn't. Okay. Okay, Kyle DeSantos versus Brandon Reed should be a very good match. That is currently happening. Mat number 7. Oh, the ADCC. I mean, blah. No kidding, man. Let us see. Yeah, Dominic Mejia and Reese Lefevre probably going to go into overtime, it looks like. Amir Alam and Steven Mason, that is taking place on mat number 4. Jonathan Satava coming back. So Satava did advance. He was just having that talk with Heath, the ref. And speaking of advancing, oof, Reese Lefevre trying to desperately finish Dom Mejia. Using this as a major opportunity to attack the legs. That's probably one of the best ways you can finish Dom Mejia if you're Reese Lefevre and it's scoreless. Oh my God. Amir straining so hard to get that rubber guard. I did see a finish happening on mat number 8. I think an injury might have taken place there. I'm not sure with who. Update to follow. Looked like a little bit of a shoulder injury. Ian Dabe continues. I see an advancement for him. Reese Lefevre, Dom Mejia now going into overtime on their respective matches. Brandon George versus Achilles Rocha now on mat number 1. Oh my goodness. We did get sleep yesterday, I can tell you that much. Not like a ton, but we did get like some quasi amounts of sleep. All right, Maka Vickers versus Maggie Mir. That is happening. That is a quarterfinal match. That is on mat number 4. Mat number 4. Diashi Goto, Brandon Ortiz, I can't see his name. Diashi Goto still scoreless on that side. Mo Black coming up on mat number 2. We got mad love for Mo Black. Looks like there was a finish. And I think Reese Lefevre gets the submission win into overtime over Dom Mejia. Reese has been on fire this tournament. Really good stuff. I think on the Achilles Rocha match, Achilles, damn, with 50 seconds left, is ahead 12-0. Eek. I feel like day 1, we saw Ian Dabe get it up to like 18 points or 17 or something to that effect. And when you really think about it, you're scoring that many points in 3 minutes. Because the first 3, it's essentially a scoreless round. So it's incredibly, incredibly impressive. Mat 8 is going to have a stop down with the Taylor Ellis match. I think they're going to address a little bit of what is happening to the arm there. But coming up next, Sean Yadamarco and Alec Balding on that mat 8. So keep eyes on that. Very, very quickly coming up there. That should be a very good match. That is a quarterfinal match. And Benjamin Sutts versus Diashi Goto. 0-0. I think now they're into overtime on that one. And Satava in trouble. Nick Maya has the back. And they did just roll off the mats. Damn, that's going to be a hard one to get out of. That's a lot of time for Nick to work. We'll see what Satava is able to do. All right, Mo Black, we will give her the honor of getting the mat listing. We'll do an advisor at mat number 2 for Mo Black. Anytime Mo Black is on the scene, you want to keep eyes on her. I would not be surprised if she has a very good finish to her day. We are still keeping eyes on the Nick Mata match, though. Brandon Reed and Kyle DeSantos, both of them have had very strong tournaments. So them making a appearance against one another in the semifinals, not a huge surprise. Brandon is one of those folks who has an incredible wrestling game. I'm intrigued to see how he's able to implement it in this format. You would figure he has one of the advanced ways. I think Diashi Goto is injured. Yeah. Man. Looks like his knee is affected. The injuries are coming fast and furious right now, guys. And to some incredibly talented individuals. We're still trying to stay with the action on the Mo Black mat, which is mat number 2. Mat number 2. And just to let you know, those that back attack for Nick Mayata and the Jonathan Satava, those weren't points. He just had the back control for a while, but no points there in that match. Mat number 8 will pick up the advisory after the Mo Black match because you have Alec Balding versus Sean Yadamarco. Alec Balding, a former chimp. Jesus Christ. Dayashi Goto standing back up. Oh, you could tell he's feeling it in his knee. He does not want to concede this match. Man, what a savage. Good Lord. Don't know that I could do it. I think Brandon Reed may have advanced. And I think I see a big shining smile on Mo Black's face. So, very fast action happening here, folks. Colby Gonzalez, Cam Hurd coming up right now, mat number 1. Colby Gonzalez, Matt Hurd coming up very shortly, mat number 1. Ooh, I'm so sorry. It is happening. And that was... I think that was still the Achilles Rocha match. It just did a pan over to the side on mat number 3, it looks. I think Dayashi Goto and Benjamin are far off the mats. And I think they're about to go into some overtime. Good Lord. Speaking of, we have an update on the Jonathan Satava Nick Mayata match. Looks like Nick is pretty close to a rear naked choke on Satava. He's a little off to the side, but I think he can make that work. Satava playing late defense. And I think Nick Mayata got it done as he flexes to the camera. Yeah, normally if you're flexing to the camera, you won. All right, we did move the advisory over to Alec Balding and Sean Yadamarco. That is conditional. That is mat number 8. We're going to stay on that one for a minute, but once Cam Hurd is on against Colby versus Dorian Alvarez, fire match. Ernesto Rivera versus Michael Sains, fire match. Jacob Borman, who beat Jet Thompson versus Max Hansen, fire match. You don't want to go anywhere. This is the time to be up right now, guys. This is, there's about 3 more ads that just aired, so I'm tallying those up. Not super fun to watch, but Ernesto Rivera takes place on his mat right now. Michael Sains, that has been a very, very solid match. No score on the Yadamarco and Alec Balding match. I think that's going to be incredibly tense. Maka Vickers on mat number 4. Mat number 4 for them. The Dayashi Goto and Benjamin Ortiz match, or Benjamin Sands, I'm sorry. That match is still going there in overtime. And Dayashi Goto's knee, I am concerned about. Yadamarco and Alec Balding, I can't tell if there was a knockdown or if Alec is opting to play off of the guard. Now they're in points. You get the sense if you're Sean, you want to use that big frame of his to try and work that pass. Speaking of guard work, we are once again seeing the impeccable guard work of Ernesto Rivera. He's trying to get something going here against Michael Sains. Nothing yet. We'll return there in a second. Colby Gonzalez, Matt Hurd, now entering on mat number 1. mat number 1, we will move our conditioned warning on that. Matt Cantwell versus Kevin Crane happening on mat number 3. Mat number 3 over on that side. Green go. That is happening on mat number 8. Mat number 8. Dorian Alvarez and Julian Espinoza dogfight right now. Legit. Julian is a very talented guy. Dorian is a tough pull. I'm intrigued to see how those two play on out. Yeah, we are severely behind, I think, on the Colby Gonzalez and the Cam Hurd match. We'll keep eyes on that as well. Bro, did you see his leg? I did. I'm just seeing that note now. It didn't look super great to me. And they have more ads than athletes at this point. For sure, dude. It's just annoying. Oh, no. I didn't get a hand raise. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so annoying. Ernesto in trouble right now. His foot is under duress. He's trying to I think he just ate most of that gritty pain from Michael Sains, who's trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink into that straight footlock. Nothing doing. That's 2 ads on that one. They did a 2-fer. And I see Max Hansen taking a pull of guard to Jacob Bordeman. And that is happening. Mat number 4. Mat number 4 for your entertainment here, folks. Sean Yadamarco up 2-0 against Alec Balding. Looking for a submission. No, I'm so sorry. There's no points there. That is so wild. Now there's the 3 points. I think they were looking to figure out that should be pass and almost mount points at this point, unless they're considering this a back take. Either way, Sean Yadamarco, if he can hold on to that, will beat former trials champ Alec Balding. So keep an eye on that. Alec Balding will have his day come to a close here in the next 17 seconds. Ernesto Rivera now playing up on top, working to pass guard. Meanwhile, Julian Espinoza, eek, there's a rabid dog attacking him on mat number 6. Wow, shotgun armbar. Wow, Michael Sains gets it done over on Ernesto Rivera. Well done. Man, that was incredibly well timed. Michael Sains is going to advance, I think, now to the... does he go to that final? You know what? I can't even tell you guys at this point. I got to get the brackets up. Let's call up some of these brackets now just to see where we stand on these listings. Here's the other thing I don't like. So on this website, when I'm trying to look up all the things and get the rounds and the quarterfinals, we're at the quarterfinals now. So we're starting to look at semifinals taking shape. We'll do a recap here in just a second, but we do have some matches that we do want to keep eyes on. David Stolisu versus Reese Lefevre. That should be really good. Cam Hurd hasn't gotten points against Colby Gonzalez, not yet. But if he wants to continue his day, he's definitely going to need to go there. Johnny Grippo versus Gavin Corbet. That is happening on mat number 5. Mat number 5. Jonathan Blank versus Nathan Haddad. That is happening on mat number 7. That's going to be a baller match. Really like that one. Oh, that's crazy. And I think we see... Yep, that was an advancement on mat number 2. All right, let's give some recaps here. Dorian Alvarez, I think, ended up with the win here over Julian Espinoza. I think he did get a submission off him. Okay. Benjamin Sutts got the win over Diashigoto, score 2-0. Maka Vickers with the submission over Maggie Mir. Hasnat Raza was able to submit Angelo Calborn. Jonathan Stava did take a loss in that submission versus Nick Mayata. Mo Black got the submission finish over Chelena Horn. Achilles Rocha was able to get a score finish of 15-0 over Brandon George. Damn, that's impressive. Brandon Reed did pick up the score finish. I think that's more of a refs if it's 0-0, so just a correction there. Reese Lefevre got the sub over Dom Mejia. Amir Alam got the sub over Stephen Mason. Taylor Ellis got the submission over Maria Golden. Fayez Akbari got the score point win over Stefan Banta. Ian Dabe got the submission finish over Alfonso. Damon Ramos got submitted by Nick Hartman from Zenith Jiu-Jitsu. Brittany Elkin got a score win over Caitlin Doors. John Combs got the submission finish over Henry Zachary. That was impressive. I saw him trying to cook him there. So we did get some impressive results all the way through. And Hannah Robson came up short against Jocelyn Baby Shark Molina. And those are the big results that we had coming up. I think right now, Cam Hurd and Colby Gonzalez going into overtime, it's probably going to come down to a referee's decision. So more on that in a second. But David Stolisu and Reese Lefevre, that is happening on mat number 2. And given all of the incredible talent, I will put that as our current advisory. So mat number 2 is where I would advise you guys to keep eyes on for the upcoming next few matches. Gavin Corbet, though, and Johnny Grippo is also a great match to keep an eye on. I think these are both eco-friendly sort of training guys. Reese Lefevre wasting no time trying to attack the leg once again. And Max Hansen still scoreless against Jacob Borman. I think there's going to be a referee's decision on the Cam Hurd match. So we will keep you posted on that. Bree Stick versus Valerie Wong. That's a pretty solid match. It's happening on mat number 3. And I do think that might be a big wrap over this way. On one of these matches, we're waiting to just get a little bit more intel. But what have you guys been enjoying so far? Ooh, nice crucifix here. Max Hansen trying to put it together, trying to get the finish here. And I think he does. Max Hansen will advance. Congratulations are in order to him. Nope, he does not get the finish. My apologies, a little bit too soon on that. It just looked like when they stopped the action, he was celebrating, but I think he was just locked in. Apologies. All right, guys, I don't know where you're watching in, but if you are enjoying this, my name's Rafa Esparza. I host a show called The Grappling Hour. I would love it if you could like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're enjoying this, especially if you want to like, comment, and subscribe to me over on The Grappling Hour. Would love that. You can also check out my Patreon. That is patreon.com/grappling hour. Love you guys for doing this. I see a lot of you guys on different time zones. Believe me, this is incredible extra credit. So if you are up right now and watching some grappling, you are a committed sicko and you're our people. So that we appreciate. I think without a time or a clock on mat number 1, action has ended. So yeah, they're starting to cut down mats. I think we're about to start getting into semifinals very, very quickly. So we will get some consolidated mats coming in very shortly. And Kevin Crane and Matt Cartwell, still no points. There are 51 seconds left on that match. And that is mat number 1, 2, 3. Matt's still looking for some points. Hasn't quite established the guard yet. Some really cool acrobatic shit happening on mat number 1. You got an argument that there's a discrepancy on whether there's a takedown on Cam Hurd. We will cut back to that here in a second. But it is close. And I do see a stoppage on my posts here, so I don't know exactly what that means. Veronica Grabinko versus Danielle Kelly. Danielle Kelly was ahead 4-0 when that time expired. So Danielle Kelly might be pulling ahead here with a win. And they do have a finish. And wow, does look like Matt Cartwell gets the win over Kevin Crane and will advance. Okay. I think we have a winner here. And wow, Corbet gets the win over Gianni Grippo. Gavin Corbet. Good on him. Getting, I can't tell if that was just by points. Might have been 2-0 there. But that's a big, big win for him. Meanwhile, Reese Lefevre and Dave Stolisu look like they're in overtime. Big stoppage of the action still on mat number 1 in the Cam Hurd match. And Colby Gonzalez. I think with good reason. I think they're trying to figure out if there's any reason to award points or not. And I think we have a finish on the Jacob Borman and the Max Hansen. We're just waiting for the referee decision on that one. Valerie Wong looking to pass Bree Stick, still early in their match. Nothing incredibly crazy. And I can tell, I think we're about 5 minutes behind on the action here from the Flow Arena. So trying our best to match up between the difference on the two. Meanwhile, saw here Reese Lefevre was looking, trying getting a finish on that. Didn't quite have it. David Stolisu almost reverse Unos him. Stands back up. There might be a trip. 2:20 left to go on that match. I wonder if he's able to hold it. Bree Stick trying to put a lot of work into taking that arm, but that might be giving a pass to Valerie Wong. Updates to follow on that one shortly. All right, while we are seeing Max Hansen and Jacob Borman taking a seat, let's go through some semifinal matchups that are going to be happening. You got Hartman versus Dabe. That's going to be an awesome match. Amir Alam versus Brandon Reed. So that is happening in the plus 99 division. Let's move down. If you go down one further, the semifinals for the men's under 99 kg is going to be B Suts versus S Banta. That is your first semifinal matchup. The second one is going to be John Combs, a former ADCC Trials champion, versus Achilles Rocha. That is a very tough match. That's almost, you could argue that's almost a final match into itself. Let's take you down to men's 88 kg. In 88 kg, you have John Blank versus M. Cantwell versus Raza and Sean Yadamarco. That is going to be an incredibly fun match. Be prepared for that one. Men's under 77. In that one, we are waiting to find out the results on one of those matches, so give them a second to pull that up. Literally just took that out from me. Let's go to brackets. Men's 77. We are looking at a match between Nick Bayada and Michael Sains, and John Borneman is waiting to find out who he is taking on. I think that is part of the reason why this Colby Gonzalez Cameron Hurd match is so important. They're now pulling out all of the referees, and they have not advanced a single thing because I think Colby was trying to argue for the 2 points, and they have to make sure they get that one correct, considering that that will have huge implications on who is going to the semifinals. The gentlemen come over, exchange a nice bro hug. I think we might be returning to the action there. And it does look like it is continuing to be scoreless at the moment. Meanwhile, Reese Lefevre and Dave Stolisu, they go the distance. I think they're waiting for a referee's decision. Let's give you an update on the under 66 kg for the boys. Under 66 kg. It's going to be Dorian Oliveras versus Reese Lefevre, both representing Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu. Meanwhile, Gavin Corbet has punched his ticket into the semifinal. We are waiting to see who he will take on. And that is a match between Rafa Ferreira and Keith Krikorian that is still yet to be decided. It is about to go up on mat number 1. Mat number 1, we're going to put that as the advisory. At this point, if you're a fan of Jiu-Jitsu, you will enjoy this match between Keith and Rafa Ferreira. Now, mind you, this is a match, if you had paid attention, at a previous EBI that has taken place. So, it is a rematch under very different circumstances. And Rafa just came off of breaking Matt Mash. So, he is in very rare form. Very excited to see how that match goes through. Both friends of the show. Be very interesting to see how that one goes. All right, let's get to the women's matches. On the women's plus 65 kilogram matches, we've got Brittany Elkin versus N. Levesque. Then you've got M. Matalon versus Jay Molina. And I think that was the baby shark, Jay Molina. Under 65 kg for the women, you've got Mo Black versus Maka Vickers. Wow, that's a dope match. And then you've got T. Ellis versus L. Bernales. I don't know how to say this one without... I don't think I'm ruffling feathers. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Take it for what you will. I do feel like whoever wins between Mo Black and Maka Vickers is likely going to win that. Maka Vickers and Mo Black is a final. That is a really, really good match. So we'll see. Could be wrong. I just have a lot of respect for those ladies. They kill it. And you've got A. Mayordomo versus Danielle Kelly, both representing Kingsway. On Bree Stick. And you've got A. Junko and C. Butterfield, who are going to figure out who is going to advance to beat them. That is currently happening. Oh, what is happening here? I think that's that match. That's mat number 3. Jesus Christ. These swear to God, sometimes ADCC is the silliest tournament. I don't know how we take it seriously sometimes. I just want you to see the dumbest way that our sport has to include. We have to take this thing seriously. When this screenshot comes up, I want you guys to see if you have the same reaction that I do, which is absolute hilarity. Look at this. This photo should tell you everything you need to know. First of all, there's a group of grown men asking you to clear the way, who are trying to kill each other, have all the space they need to continue working on essentially the concrete floor as one of them is trying to break the other one's foot. This is literally, this is when we do our fight of the week. This is essentially what we're looking at now. This is absurd. This is so funny. I can't even. It's so funny. This is like the fourth hug I've seen between Cam Hurd and Colby. I think they're explaining what happened to. We will see what they decide here in a second. They are pulling him to the side. I think this is the last minute. This is Mo who came over to talk specifically to Cam Hurd. So I think they're in the process of figuring out who and what is advancing where. Okay. Oh boy. That's tough because that could end the day. So let us see. Well, some good news here though. It's tough because Colby Gonzalez was a game competitor, but right now, as it stands, they are going back and they're about to do an announcement. They went straight to commercial on that, but they literally had to make sure that you saw nothing more than this before they went straight to a commercial. Absolutely absurd. Okay. So this is pretty good. We've gotten to a good spot here. Rafa Ferreira and Keith Krikorian. So this is kind of what I think we're going to do here. I think we're going to get through this match, and I think we're going to take a break. So we're going to watch the Keith Krikorian Rafa Ferreira match and the Annabella Junco and Claire Butterfield match. We'll take a short break, and then I think we will come back to kind of knock this out. Like, we will watch the semifinals and finals for the day all together. So just to give you guys a heads up on what we're planning to do. But good Lord, what a freaking day, man. Big shout outs to friends like Inside BJJ, Big Ace Joe, Nogi Crew. I see this. It says, hell yeah, I love the shirt. Well, this shirt right here is representation for the gym that I am at today. I am a guest here at New Ground Jiu-Jitsu. You know, wait, did I bring shit to train in? Am I going to get to train today? Oh my God. Y'all, I might be able to train today. Like, do you understand what this means? Like, we could potentially, well, I don't know if we'll be done, but we could potentially be done in time that the open mat is still going on here. God bless all of you guys who did not sign up for ADCC trials this year. You're the real heroes. Love you guys. Okay, as a reminder, here's what we're doing. We are watching the Keith Krikorian match. I think they're going to take a short stop down after that. And then we will regroup. We will get together and then watch the last couple matches together. But we're going to take a short break. What I love about this with Rafa Ferreira and Keith Krikorian is it's essentially like watching a younger version of Keith come in. And Rafa has all this energy, and you know he's very Muppety with this, but this is like right up Keith's alley. Like, it's very wild to see because you know you got something like Rafa who's just throwing energy at somebody. It says Sunday rolls, yes, Sunday rolls indeed. I mean, I'm excited to actually be at a gym when they're going to do an open mat. Days like this, think to myself, I don't have the time to train because we're. So just the mere thought of me almost getting to train is like blissful. I cannot express that enough. Fruition, but we shall see. Nonetheless, if you guys are enjoying a like, a comment, a share, would love it wherever you're watching. And again, we did mention that our advisory on this one is on mat number 1 because that is Keith Krikorian. That is Rafa Ferreira. These two kids are monsters, respectively, at their different ages. But Rafa is a young up-and-comer, and Keith now has become this vet that is so talented, so calculated with what he does. And there's a big part of Keith that I think is kind of like, man, I've been here before. I know what I want to do. I know what it's like to go to ADCC. And now he's got so much more seasoned vet like moves. And he's very calculated in what he does. He studies the game incredibly well. And when you get a game competitor like Rafa Freire, it's a lot. You know, it's a lot of person putting a lot of energy at you. Muppet. Yeah, I mean, he is kind of a Muppet, dude. Just look at it. I think I got him to agree to that. I don't remember if that's exactly what I called him at the time, but I felt like I said something to that language. And even Keith could kind of see, he's like, damn, was I kind of like that when I was a kid? I was like, yes, you were. Absolutely were. Sticks the leg out, but Rafa can't quite make out to get the leg. He's working continuously, just putting on pressure on Keith. I do believe they're outside of the points period, so it's just a lot of play, but Keith uses this as an excellent opportunity to start now, working from upside, throws a Darce or a headlock attack at him, doesn't quite hold it. Meanwhile, points expire, or time expires for Claire Butterfield and the Amelia match. And Junko does look like she will advance, so congratulations are in order to her. But Rafa has already visualized this win. I mean, I've visualized beating Keith a lot. I don't know that that's happened. Good pass there by Keith. That's another ad break. Add another 3 that I have seen so far. Yeah, I mean, that seasoned vet aspect of Keith, he knows when points are happening. He doesn't waste any time. Already putting in pressure on him. If you've ever had the ability to roll with Keith, you know when he turns on that pressure, it does not feel great. I see a note here. You're saying that match was crazy. Which match are you referring to here, sir? Because you might be in the future and know the full result of Keith and Rafa. Man. It's so wild because in so much of what you see Rafa doing to get out of Keith's guard passing here, you would think, Keith and Rafa, thank you. You would think as you're watching this that that would be good enough guard retention for so many people. But Keith knows, he does an excellent job of just waiting it out, making sure that he doesn't give him an inch. So that match was crazy. I mean, it's still happening for us. So just to let you know. And it says, fan of both of them, just hope for a good match. I mean, you're getting one. I don't know what else to tell you. All right. Keith, Rafa. There is no names on there. There is no time. So we're just kind of assuming we're in the points portion, but the extent of which we don't fully know. All right. It's kind of weird because you do see on these other mats, the action has ended. The stream has ended. So I think when they come back, it might go down to 2 mats. I would hope that's that way. So that way we can get a little bit better of a response. Yeah, I think Rafa's just fishing for points at this point. Going up against Keith, Keith racked up a number of points that makes it not insurmountable, pretty difficult in a short amount of time. So that is going to end the action once this match comes to a conclusion. Rafa's trying to send this leg on out. Doesn't quite have it on Keith. Spins over. I mean, one thing you could say about this match is both of their mop heads just flying around with hair at any given point. Just tons of hair flying around. Kids, Look at them. Look how fast they go. Okay, reminders. When this match comes to a conclusion, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. We're just got to give ourselves a few seconds to kind of catch our breath, rest the vocals, get some honey, more tea. And then we're going to be here for the semifinals, but that's going to conclude it for the quarterfinals and the Elite Eight. Keith Krikorian. Oh, man. Keith Krikorian is such a beast and has grown into an incredibly seasoned competitor. Super proud of him. All right, folks. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. I just want to go catch up on some rest. But when we come back, we're going to watch the semifinals and the finals together for ADCC. And maybe your boy gets to go do a little bit of training today. One can only hope. So go ahead, get yourself something to drink, restroom break, go do what you need to do, and we will be back shortly. But before you go, a like, a comment, and a share would go a big way. So if you like what you're seeing, check me out at the Grappling Hour. Do me a solid, follow all my social media, Grappling Hour at YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those places. It really does mean a lot. And if you really like our stuff, check us out at patreon.com/grappling hour. All right, friends, that's going to do it for right now, but we will be back shortly to finish this thing on out and finish up East Coast Trials. My name's Rafa Esparza. We'll see you guys in a little bit.